This should make my life easier. Loaded to the gills!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
For speed to build up the Scotty first,
Middle tower
which is,
under
you know,
attack.
about 1,000 gold away, so not too far off, but we need to see the combination something set up into the pit, into the macropyre, into coddled spells, and just get the damage off. They don't want to stall out the magic damage fights too long. Again, BKBs are going to be up soon.
The fact that Z-Freak has been in this dire jungle, circles around E-Boys for like half this game now. He can't be... Look at it, he's just jumping in by himself. He's just caused problem. Magnetizer's there. Monkey's forever now, just going to collapse on tower by Libra. He's gone. You can't let Z-Freak do it like...
Dire's top tower has fallen.
He's literally just running around in circles in the dire jungle.
I mean, he did haste, and there's no instantaneous way of locking him down on the CD supports. I guess he did have the slowdown.
Neo is going to land and just jumps in, but no lucky crits coming out. Dark Rift immediately being popped. He has the astral, but it's going to do nothing against the under. Monkeys chased down as now Z-Freak gets off onto the Keeper of the Line and double. He really has nowhere to go. Up from down. That'll be the mid-tier 1 tower being on by 2-based.
Yeah. Really early to take that mid-tier 2. 23 minutes in. They do get pushed back fortified, so there's some breeder power for Electronic Voice. Do have the Scotty up now on here, so they've got some options in Naga at 14% on speed, still standing at about 2-3k gold. Still a lot to play. Wait, do you smoke us 4?
I don't know about this. I mean, we talk about this Naga Summer on it. It's almost like an alchemist. You need to have a pretty big lead as Empyrean. Great position to smoke. He knew exactly where they were coming from, and he breaks the smoke immediately. Roshan, hit by E-Boy. Up onto Boris, hit him out, being dropped. A lot of damage with the song is going to be there from speed. Ice Path perhaps, Macropyre, Ice Path, it's there, perfectly lined up, and they do for some P. Can they do with Monkeys forever? He's still a tanky target, but they're going to chase the final a great step from Giant, Path, and the Willow Whip. Where's your damage? Well, Speed is here, taking to one more. People, however, all slowing down, but now they found Annihilate, being surrounded by
No.
Gonna be alright. However, Monkeys, he's gonna be fine too. He'll chain up to the high ground. At time for Boris to respawn up so they can test this Roshan once again. He's gonna find more time, but he is gonna go down. Meanwhile, Mio goes down to Annihilate in the backlines. At this point, I don't think they can take the Roshan like this. Back and committed. Mio gonna make his back over. But Boris is back in 5 and Z-Freak is back up. He's TP the outpost, but the Roshan is going to get on speed. He picks up the Aegis. Hammer is going to be there on the Giant, but the jump in from Mio into the Macropyre. Annihilate trying to run, but he does go down. But here comes Z-Freak straight onto Giant, does take down the Underlord, and now Boris is waiting on the high ground. He's going to blink strike down to the low instead. Not with to jump in on speeds Naga Siren. And after all that, they do manage to get the Aegis their way. However, the net worth lead has switched over to the side of simply 2-based.
Yeah, it was a costly for eBoys to get that out. The buyback on me definitely being the commitment. Again, setting back Ag's timing on a Spirit. So one last single prep bought out by Mio. Gonna be a while until you really see that item start to line up. However, you are seeing speed really be we're gonna need to see the BKB coming out soon. It's a bit of 2-based, but the Boris is only away. So it's enough, and all edge damage you're seeing earlier on. This issue's not going to be too long once that spell he's in play. Again, setting back Ag's timing.
Another group up here, simply 2-based in the mid lane. They have the blink initiation from Annihilate if they need, but he's going to down to
see the BKB coming out soon.
More than happy to just get a bit more farm going for themselves, as Monkeys is going to have the Guardian Greaves up. Okay, it's a couple hundred gold away now for Boris. Pretty big power based. Meanwhile, Speed, he did go back to the butterfly, which obviously seeing how that last team fight went, he's feeling quite confident. Payoff dividends. Scotty, the freak, in a bit of danger, gets the snare up into the silence, and he is definitely going to die. They should be very well aware that there are wards at half round now. Pretty big time. And the Zebra, he's going to go sort of.
Yeah, that kill to see the full gold to bop his butt. So it's another major spike for Nagasarn. All they need to do to make use of it. They've got Aegis running for about 3.5 more minutes. They do smoke. I can try to find something with his fresh pickup again on.
Use the Midas that may give away the smoke. Looks like it has not, but Empyrean, again, nice positioning to break the smoke of Mio. Gonna hang around in that mid lane. Gonna bait with somebody. I know, LA. He's gonna lock him down, he's in big trouble, but he gets an actual off. They drop everything onto this OD, but he just pops his BKB and turns back around. He wants it for the team fight. Speed, however, with the song just making it so he's the only one fighting, and I Annihilate, he's gonna go down. The BKB works against it. Monkeys forever now. They want that Timber Sword dead. But no, they'll go after Empyrean first, and that Witch Doctor is gonna go down onto the Timber. No, want Boris on the PA. Speed connects with the ensnare, forcing the BKB out, and Boris is going to have to use that charge to speed the away as Seafree goes back in, trying to get a pickup onto Albino's Zebra. This may just cost him his life, and it looks like it will, though. No, a nice roll away is barely going to get him out, but the Remnant is not going to lock it down. Very close there for Z-Freak. But for Electronic Boys, they are looking good. Number one, worth lead back their way. Finally, some objectives on this map.
Yeah, this is huge for the side of you boys. Taking that tier 2, opening up more options to take over this bot junk onto 2. Speed is looking very hard to control. They need to be safer with those BKBs. They have to watch and wait for the song, and perhaps just pop it after the song. Or, you know, if they do pop it during song, I'm sure that you're not going to be run down by 4 heroes at all at the same time. Bit of 2 right now. They're still not far behind a 2k lead for eBoys, but Speed is like 7k biggest farm hero on the side of 2-base. So it's a huge lead now on Speed. The investment in Nagasarn finally paying off. You're seeing play out here for eBoys. Atos up on Giant. So you've got a Pit of Malice Atos comp just to hold people down. And it should make easy work of this in particular from the base. So more going on here. Yeah.
Speed forgot the camp. It's down near the Radiant tier 2 tower, the bot lane, which isn't there any longer. I think he was microing his illusions, and he's just completely forgotten it. That's a bit of a shame. You know, if 2-base find it, Boris already has So he won't need it.
Oh. Came back.
All right, me.
Savior.
What are you kids doing? Why is there an idol ground? Here you go. I knows what he's up to. He gets it.
Yeah, that saves the day. Still, Aeon Disc just revealed in double A.
There it goes. Straight. Cool. He's now seeing that. Wants to make the strike in from Boris. Double way out. He does get ulti for this. It's not going to help. Does end up going down. Looks like two-based. They want to slowly start setting up for that mid-tier attack. Now, it's
Radiant's
back to
bottom
farming.
tower is under attack.
Boris, he's just trying towards an Abyssal Blade on that. And it's one of the games, John, where Boris is going to have to commit to a Divine Rapier. Considering you do have the evasion now on the Naga. Of course, MKB plots on the PA.
Radiant's
Well
bottom
go if you're gonna
tower is under attack.
get that Divine.
It could be an option. Pushy Boris is out KD. Like, once that BP fades, this is not going to have a lot of options in staying alive. And we've seen the situation before. So,
Being chased now, he's still very, very tanky. Also, the User Scepter available. Now, as we do see the magnetize out from but he gets bursted down. A great sanities, but speed. Gets a song off. Albino looking for an ice path. Does connect onto two with the Pit of Malice once again. They'll kill off Empyrean. The buyback is going to be there. Mio, he actually ends up going down to Annihilate. Now Boris going to join in. They want to take down that Keeper of the Light. Double A being chased down as Annihilate again finding another in the form of Albino Zebra, but Speed does finally burst him down. Onto Giant they go, but Boris, does he have the damage output? It looks like he does with Monkeys Forever, and now Speed all by himself trying to fight this one out. He can't really hit the PA though. It's a bit of a problem here for Speed. They are just going to man fight, but it looks like the Naga is going to lose in the end with a nice crit out from Boris. And Giant, he just fought back, but Boris wants to die back immediately. Giant trying to fight back. Some nice damage there with the Firestorm, but Empyrean is going to heal him up. He does have the Paladin Sword anyway. Now, team fight, it looked pretty bad for simply two base at the start, but eventually they do take over, and Giant, that was a greedy play. Made his position very well known with that Firestorm, and he just fought back. He gave away the dieback for the sake of trying to protect that tier 2 bot tower, but it's definitely a bit greedy.
it's really greedy out there. That means no Underlord for about a minute 20. That's going to be costly for the high ground defense. They rely so much on that Pit of Malice for control. And Seafreak?
Yeah, but he just rolls straight into the base. Oh, there goes that Aeon Disc again, Boris. He does. He loses his courier in the process, so Basha is now down for 3.5 minutes, but you know, with the Unlord dieback, I just don't think they care. It's Albino Zebra. Chased down a bit by Monkeys.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Tier 3 bot tower does drop.
Dire's bottom barracks are under
Looks like they aren't going to push anything too far as Speed is respawning on the Naga. Going to take the victory and back off. Maybe just wait out that courier respawn before they do go back in.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of time for that courier though. Again, 3 minutes is just a heck lot of time for E-Boys to kind of try to get some more farm up, maybe get 1 or 2 items up before the next engagement. We are seeing Speed queue up the MKB, but I think that's going to have to come after the Abyssal. You don't want to stop at just a Basher right now. So it's still a little bit more until the MKB comes out. Once you do have that in the Naga, you're not going to have those evasion issues, although the positioning would be too based. They want to go.
Boris has got a double damage shot. Boris has a DD rune on the PA, but Z-Freak gets bursted way too quick, and now Empyrean is probably going to die. They'll spot out Boris with that DD, but they don't seem to care. They'll just keep onto the Witch Doctor. Going to block the way, not allow them to have their way with his position 5. Apart from Z-Freak, they get everyone else out. It's a cute little bait play there from Speed in mid lane.
Yeah, it just gives him a freebie kill on Z-Freak and also gives him the Abyssal now. So you do have that instant stun out for Speed. A nut out from ways to play around with this item timing. And unfortunately for 2-Base, Boris still has to wait 2 minutes here until he can get his own items up. So it's going to be a heck enough time to just keep finding these kills.
Empyrean, oh, that's a nice little juke out. I'm not sure if he's going to make it though. He'll try, but Mio is on the case. He will eventually just... String. The increased monkeys mean Empyrean does walk away from this. And they might just turn this. Speed, he's out of position. Boris, he's going to make the jump. Song is going to be committed. Meanwhile, I Annihilate with KB Media Hammer straight onto Mio's head. They're going to try and go onto the OD instead, but he does have the support in the back lines. Is Albino going to get jumped? But Annihilate is straight off the bat. Boris looking to jump in onto double A, but they're he's going to protect for now with the Glimmer Cape. He's just going to make a run. B-boys go back. They want this gone, and they might just get him as they're burying now with the Death Watch. Just going to channel it all the way, but needs to walk. The E-boys know exactly what he is. It's just fine. E-boy, they do win out that team fight. Aim for the Roshan play.
That's going to be a big objective for them. And cheese ready to go, and you don't have the best options to approach this right now for the side of the 2-Base. They're still waiting for that courier to be up. Half a minute left. It's Ags up, and I believe it's Basher up. By the time, that's going to be a lot more damage, a lot more sustain and stats at least for the PA when it sets up. But the road, it's fast enough, it feels like.
Forever, he just got to shoot his guard up, so he's going to be able to slow him down quite a bit. So snare is there from Speed. Monkeys with the Lotus Orb, able to walk a bit. Mio got to be careful. He does get jumped on by Boris, but that nice palm. He's going to protect him from the damage up on his Speed. Does jump. Boris forced to be up, still lines, but nobody is dying. PA is just getting kited around. Speed, meanwhile, with the song, is to be able to just commit and maybe. Zephyr tried to roll in, but could not get there. Giant is also going to be able to Dark Rift away. But they have left the Roshan. 2-Base, not really going to lose out. If they get this Aegis, it's well worth it for their time. It is going to go down. Silence from Z. He's going to make sure the jump in from Mio is not going to be there. They want to get this team fight started. A great from Giant on the Underlord, and a nice path onto 3 throws from Albino Zebra, but he in danger. The roll is going to connect from Z-Freak, and at least he's going to die.
Tower is under attack.
7k net worth lead now for the side of...
Oh man, it's just a constant back and forth between E-Boys and 2-Base. What E-Boys were doing, they had a huge window with the items being stalled out from Boris. Unfortunately, they just couldn't take that Roche fast enough. Like, the damage wasn't really flying out from your Naga, not in the same way it flies out from PAOD, and it just doesn't come up. You're gonna see some big issues now as Boris starts to finish some key items. The Abyssal is flying, it does get assembled. Boris is gonna be able to now just instantly stun up anyone he wants in the middle of these fights, on top of having that Ags running as well for the Dispel. So you have a lot of options here. For 2-Base, we're still waiting for Speed to finish up his MKB. The Abyssal is nice, but you really need the MKB through that PA. She is way too evasive with her bounce, and I love this. Boris went for the 35 evasion talent as well. It's so hard to just right-click him down.
True. It won't be soon for Speed. He has that MKB up, he's going to be able to actually hit the PA, and things might turn a little bit for E-Boys. I have to say as well, this is probably one of the better performances we've seen from this Dire's side throughout this series over the group stages as Monkeys. Hit jump. Lotus is going to be returned, but he is still in a bit of danger. Still trying to run away, but now the surround is there. Nice pickup, boys. Z-Freak was walking down the river to try and help him out, but ultimately will have to roll back the other way. Boris again gets a DD room. Does still have that Aegis, and he has the new Aghanim Scepter and Abyssal Blade. Not going to try and make the play without Monkeys forever.
Nah, they need that frontliner to just throw their body out and kind of cop a lot of those spells. Without the Timbersaw, you're maybe looking at either Z-Freak tanking it, which needs to just bounce in a snap, or I Annihilate tanking it and you lose out on a lot of damage. So they have to wait for that Tim to really be comfy. They do have a Hex up now as well on I Annihilate though. So they've got additional control coming in here for the side of 2-base, widening that lead. 10k up now on the side of 2-base. That's with your Naga Siren on eBoy side at 28k net worth, 2k above the PA. It's just that 2k at this point in the game is not much. It's not even a full item already.
Smoke on smoke, John, but they have the high ground advantage. And Z-Freak, he's going to break the smoke, but make the jump in. E-Boys, they want to fight with a great song out from Speed to set up a nice path. They drop the Will-O-Wisp onto 3 heroes. They are trying to get away, but I Annihilate immediately bursted down by Speed. Meanwhile, Z-Freak trying to fight this one out. Boris jumps. There goes Albino Zebra, but Boris, he's dropping very quick to Speed's damage. Speed doing its work already. Boris gets Rotovate tossed up, still making the blink strike in, does kill off AA, is still on the run, gets the blur off as well, and he just dispels everything as he just TPs in front of Speed's face. Disgusting stuff with that Aghanim Scepter.
You gotta love it. Like you drifting in and out. It was still a fairly good trade for eBoys on paper. They got I Annihilate for 2 supports. They got a core for their troubles. Big pickup there for eBoys, all things considered. And unfortunate for 2, they just took a fight without Monkeys. They need Monkeys up front. They need him to be disruptive. Without him, the fights are a lot harder to take. Boris right now, I think, does need a little bit more lifesteal. Like, the Paladin Sword gives you a nice amount. You really want something to sustain yourself a little bit more, considering how much the Naga Siren has been doing just in raw right clicks. The Riptide flying through is kind of painful as well for PA. Very glass cannon-y build for Boris, so probably gonna need a additional source of sustain here.
I doubt he'll get it though, John. The Eye of Skadi there on Speed as well as the Spirit Vessel on Mio. I feel like he just hasn't had an option here with lifesteal. He probably just has to go for that glass cannon. I'm still waiting for the Divine Rapier, and I think we are getting into that territory now as you are running out of slots. He is going to eventually lose his Aegis. There will be a slot available where his treads used to be. Props to Z-Freak as well, John. He got a gem up now. It's been a real, it's been a real problem, the detection game. Based. These Glimmer Capes are really paying a lot for E-Boys. But now with Z-Freak with that gem, he won't have too many issues. Be able to just kind of follow in and get that true sight going. There's that Divine Rapier queued up now. Boris is Mio. He's going to jump in straight onto Empyrean. They want that Witch Doctor dead, but he's not dead yet. The Astral is going to come in pretty clutch. Now the roll in is going to be there from Z-Freak with the Magnetize, but the song is out from Speed. Can they set up? The silence is there on Albino, but the flip is going to dispel that silence into a 3-man Ice Path and the Macro Pyre. They'll get I Annihilate, but Boris, he's going to jump. Mio is getting bursted down and does go down as Z-Freak controls the rest of the Earth Spirit. And Boris just crits down the Imperial on 1 hit. Giant, he tries to Dark Rift out, but Monkeys forever. It's just way too much damage. And now Boris is there onto the Naga Siren. That'll be Speed going down. And Z-Freak is looking for the last one, and he has found him. AA trying to escape with the Clip Cape. Z-Freak only 1 stone left to use.
It's under attack.
Hey, spotted for a second. Trying to TP, but you've got the roll there from Z-Freak. Thing is, it doesn't really have much help. Empyrean is finally going to come in. Boulder Smash and Silence is there into the Aeon Disc being propped. He's still trying to run away. And while this is happening, the mid-tier 3 is going down, and there is a Divine Rapier now available on Boris. But I can't help but just watch the chase onto AA. It's screwed eventually. Just leaves it be. Where's our Divine Rapier? I saw Boris buy one. I believe it might be on the courier.
Yeah, he's just pocketing it in the back, wanting to be safe. They don't need it for the siege. So they're just going to take these objectives. No risky plays here. 2-based being very calculated in how they approach the high ground as the song comes in.
They only caught 1. They'll have to just settle for the Timbersaw, and Monkeys is eventually going to die, but Double A actually ended up going down. I didn't realize they were still chasing that poor keeper of the light. And Z-Freak finally gets him, as Monkeys Forever does also die. But it is kind of hilarious that Z-Freak actually chased him down that whole time. Yeah. Not giving up, a man of commitment, John.
Yeah, and you know, that gave them that high ground push. Like, not having the Kotl there to de-push these waves. Ooh, that Remnant was right on the edge. But not having Kotl to de-push the waves made it so that you had no way of stopping that push. So they lose 2 tier 3s, they lose 1 melee rax, 2 base now with a 23k lead, and Speed losing his net worth advantage. 30k on the Naga, 32k on the PA. The investment onto Speed now not quite shaping up the way you'd want to here for the side of eBoys. As even Z-Freak has Radiance now.
I mean, why not? Like, they're just making it so it's impossible to hit this PA. Can't really falter, like, criticize his build. If you can afford Radiance on an Earth Spirit, why the hell not? He's 7 minutes into the game almost. Mind you, there is a Divine Rapier on Boris as well, which he did transfer from the Courier now, so you're kind of already all in on that Divine.
Under attack.
If Boris dies and Speed picks that up, it could be quite a problem. So, you may as well just commit all the way. See if you can make this work. So they're going to go for the big smoke up. Only Speed just bought treads. I think that might have been a bit of a misclick. He is going for a moonshot. Roshan is going to be up, and it is going to be scouted out by Z-Freak. Nobody from Electronic Boys are around to contest this, and with that Divine Rapier, it is not going to take very long, let me tell you.
Bottom tower is under attack.
This is going to be scary as well. You've got the refresh on hand, so I Annihilate potentially with 2 Santis Eclipses, or at least 2 Astral Imprisonments without the Ags. A lot of control can fly out here, a lot of damage is... And this is going to make the next fight really difficult for eBoys. Like, they have to ensure that if they are forcing this fight, their execution needs to be on point, the song from Speed needs to be ready, the ice pad needs to be lined up there for Albino Zebra for them to follow up. And if they kill off at least, I think, again, if you kill off Monkeys, it makes it awkward for the rest of 2 base to just kind of come in. I'd say at this point, though, you probably want to take care of I Annihilate as well. So taking care of those 2 cores, or one of those cores plus the support, allow the boys some leeway in finding some follow-up. But 2 base are not scared anymore. They are just smoked up and just going to keep running down that mid.
Yep, that they are. Love that Timbersaw shot. Always a bit of fun to watch. Little flamethrower. Up toward the top lane, Neo did spot him, or show himself in the creep wave, and looks like he may just get caught and does I Annihilate. Gets aside the Vice off, but the Aeon Disc. It's gonna save the day.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Well, bot lane, creep wave is pushing in. They just lost that tier 3 tower.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
2 base, they're not backing off. They want to just try for this top tier 3 push. So again, with that Divine Rapier, you are going to see Boris maybe just a little bit more hesitant jumping in.
Radiant's bottom barracks
even with that
are under
Aegis,
attack.
don't seem to want to make the play.
Yeah, they were forced to respond to that bot push as well, so Z-Freak did have to TP down. They are down 1 hero for this fight. It's a bit of an awkward spot now for 2 base. Don't really want to force anything big with their numbers disadvantage for that split push, so a bit more of a wait. Don't want to wait too long. They still have a lot of time on that Aegis, but you want to start hammering in a few more objectives. Maybe take at least the bot melee racks to ensure that your bot wave is always going to be shoved in. That could help the cause here for 2 base if they can follow that objective easily.
We'll see. Speed going for the Aghanim Scepter upgrade on the Naga. Very interesting stuff. I think that still is the that huge song, if I'm not...
They changed it.
No?
It's the Ensnare. Ensnare just goes on to spell immune targets and sleeping units. So you can use it really easily during song. and snare cooldowns down by 5, cast range up as well. So a little bit more utility that could cause issues for the PA in the middle, say, while she's BKB'd up in Song. That's gonna be a bit nasty to fight into, and could complicate matters for the approach into the high ground. So you're seeing the effect of the high ground hold here of E-Boys, and they're not too far away from that here for speed.
I think we've lost John. I believe he's back. John, are you back?
Okay. Yes. And
Lights breaking out right now. They just jumped in straight onto Speed. Speed is dropping very low on that Naga. Is he going to go down? It looks like he will. He is dead without buyback. On to Mio. The Void Spirit also gone. And this game is looking to be over as Boris just slicing and dicing them up. They'll buy back. There'll be one last team fight. But they're going to have to do this without their position 1. Speed's buyback is still on cooldown, and now the dagger's flying out. The damage is just insane through the daggers. Giant's gonna die. A dieback on him. Sanity's being dropped. They want to dive the fountain, but the GG has been called. Speed has had enough. They'll jump in one last time, but there's gonna be more kills going out towards Boris on the PA. And I gotta be honest, John, this was a much closer matchup than I first anticipated. But game does go the way of simply 2 based.
Hero tumbang dari sisi E-Boys. No, it's gonna be bad for tim E-Boys. Oke, Resoner lagi. Seenggaknya dia dapetin apa namanya? Dapetin bounty lah. Oke, 4 hero tumbang. War yang cukup keras kayaknya. Networknya ketarik ke atas sebentar. Wow, gila. Buying time dari seorang Odi cukup waktunya untuk IO hidup lagi, dan White King baitnya nggak berhasil dimanfaatkan, atau seenggaknya damage-nya nggak masuk secara sempurna ke arah Odi. Jadi Odinya selamat. Natural Fight juga belum bisa memberikan direct secara penuh loh ya. Tim Coil ke arah 2 orang. IO coba untuk didapatkan, kena efek nggak, di Sonar berhasil untuk selamat. Oke, nggak ada Coil lagi, langsung teleport dari seorang Lucky hilang gitu aja. Nggak ada detection. Nggak ada detection. Illusionary Op nggak berhasil untuk masuk. Detection telat baru datangnya, dan berhasil untuk selamat dari seorang Sand King. Di sini supaya untuk nge-secure 3 hero tumbang dari sisi E-Boys. No, it's gonna be bad for tim E-Boys. Oke, Resoner lagi. Seenggaknya dia dapetin apa namanya? Dapetin bounty lah. Oke, 4 hero tumbang. War yang cukup keras kayaknya. Networknya ketarik ke atas sebentar. Wow, gila. Buying time dari seorang Odi cukup waktunya untuk IO hidup lagi dan Viking baitnya nggak berhasil dimanfaatkan atau seenggaknya damage-nya nggak masuk secara sempurna ke arah Odi. Jadi Odinya selamat. Natural Prophet juga belum bisa memberikan direct secara penuh loh ya. Tim Coil ke arah 2 orang, IO coba untuk didapatkan, kena efek nggak, di Sonar berhasil untuk selamat. Oke, nggak ada Coil lagi, langsung teleport dari seorang Lucky hilang gitu aja, nggak ada detection. Nggak ada detection. Illusionary Orb nggak berhasil untuk masuk, detection telat datangnya dan berhasil untuk selamat dari seorang Sand King. Yang di sini supaya untuk nge-secure di arah triangle-nya. Bird positioning itu krusial banget menurutku. 3 hero melakukan smoke. Coba push kayaknya ke arah bawah. Taski kah? Nggak Taski dari tim Manu. Oh, smoke balasan kayaknya ini smoke balas smoke kan? Ya, smoke balas smoke coba menuju arah triangle. Sementara itu tim A-Boys ada di sisi bawah, belum ketahuan. Odi yang paling depan. Oke, ketemu kayaknya. Coba dapatin backline-nya. Oke, siapa yang dapetin Sonar aku nggak tahu. Odi sekarang belum punya BKB, itu tidak masalah. Damage-nya cukup berhasil untuk membunuh Odi. Viking coba di depan, coba nge-deal damage, berhasil dapetin 2-3 lebih tepatnya. Backline, Sand King langsung lari gitu aja, kena efek. Ada IO sendirian coba untuk TP, belum ada yang cancel dan berhasil untuk TP. Nggak berhasil, 4 orang kena Viking tumbang tapi masih punya reinkarnasi. No Sand King harus tumbang juga. Tim Web ke arah tim Dog. Kalian tuh bagus, kalian bolehlah kayak gitu dan kesempatan menangnya cukup besar juga. Tapi dengan keadaan yang kayak ini, tim Dok aku rasa sulit banget untuk comeback di arah bawah. Coba untuk di-push, ngapain ngelihatin seorang IO di bawah tuh di-push. Gila lah observernya. IO farming dilihatin bawah di-push. Maksudnya apa gitu? Speed sendirian. Oke, coba dapatkan seorang dying, belum ada damage yang cukup yang masuk dan berhasil tidak dapatkan Viking tumbang dengan reinkarnasinya. Keadaan yang buruk untuk Dok, langsung pulang kah? Enggak dapatin seorang backline. Resta dalam masalah dan berhasil untuk dibunuh BKB dari seorang Ritsu. Odinya hidup, coba untuk fight back tapi nggak berhasil. Ritsu oke, mengeluarkan Meteor Hammer, coba untuk dapatkan seorang Viking dan berhasil kayaknya harus tumbang seorang Viking. Masih punya nyawa ketiganya. 3 hero tumbang dari sisi Electro Boys, bukan keadaan yang baik. Punya shackle juga di sisi belakang di zone dari seorang Natural Prophet dan Viking harus tumbang.
Radiant
Melakukan TP di cancel darah Sand King, berhasil dapetin range creep-nya. Itulah kenapa kalian hancurin range creep dulu, karena bisa bunuh range barak dulu karena bisa hancurin lebih cepat daripada melee. Ntar akan regeneration kalau kalian nggak melakukan push. Viking ada di atas, coba untuk didapatkan Dok. Informasi yang nggak masuk bahwa Sand King-nya udah mundur. Giant kah? No, I have no clue. Sementara itu coba dapatkan, oke, Prisoner ke arah dirinya sendiri gak, ternyata ke arah temennya berhasil untuk lari. Coba dapatkan seorang Witch Doctor, damage yang cukup, cuman 2 hit, 4 hit doang berhasil untuk membunuh seorang Witch Doctor. 5 hit lebih tuanya, oh tidak, serang Odi pun keluar. Ini bukannya hal bagus sih untuk tim Dok. Kalau udah ngelarin ulti, biasanya tim lawan tuh akan agresif move, tapi seenggaknya mereka bunuh 3, jadi aku rasa worth it banget ultinya. Relocate masih punya BKB, berhasil untuk keluar. Sementara itu tim Dok semua ada di atas, coba untuk mendapatkan creep tower kayaknya. IO yang dituju, IO nya terlalu keras, masih punya Heart of Taras, berhenti regenerations. Speed yang dituju enggak dong, speednya, damage-nya cukup. IO bunuh Viking, bukan hal yang bagus untuk seorang Viking. Teman-temannya datang untuk membantu, nggak berhasil untuk melakukan ulti dari seorang Sand King. Berhasil tadi dibunuh, enggak, BKB dipobol dari semuanya. Pasca datang untuk membantu, dia juga dapat di arah atas. Tim Coil ke arah 3 orang, belum berhasil untuk membunuh siapapun, tapi damage yang masuk cukup besar. Berhasil untuk membunuh seorang Sand King, baik dilakukan 2. Dominasi didapatkan oleh Bailey, BKB, IO dalam masalah, berhasil untuk dapatkan 3 hero tumbang dari sisi Dok. Bukan hal yang bagus. Coba untuk lari, Disaster kena Sprout, double kill dari seorang Speed. Odi jadi hero terakhir yang hidup melakukan TP di arah high ground dan berhasil kayaknya. 4 hero tumbang, buyback dari seorang Sand King nggak akan membuahkan hasil yang bagus. Nggak mungkin mereka melakukan kontes kecuali si Sand King mau untuk melakukan steal. Tapi itu bukan keputusan yang bijak sih. Scan-nya masuk. Oke, udah hidup, udah ada Odi juga. Apakah mau di steal? Kena silent di arah Sand King, kena green coil juga. Sand King harus tumbang. Roshan-nya belum down. nggak bisa nge-steal. IO di sisi yang lain coba untuk didapatkan stun ke arah Undying, belum berhasil. IO-nya langsung lari gitu aja, nanti Prophet Spawn ke arah IO kah? Nggak, ternyata masih punya Skadi. IO dan masalah BKB nggak akan bisa nyelamatkan nyawanya, tapi ada loket keluar. Odi di sana di sisi lain coba untuk membantu, coba dikejar, masih punya BKB. IO-nya nggak bisa dong. Odi berhasil untuk selamat, tapi IO nggak akan. Sepertinya Rasta di sebelah kiri coba untuk melakukan, nggak bisa untuk membantu apapun. Cycle ke arah depan, berhasil untuk membunuh satu, dominating streak. Jelas Odi berhasil mati, tapi IO di sana dalam masalah, berhasil untuk dibunuh. Tim Wave di arah tim Dog, dan kita akan masuk ke game selanjutnya. Posisi sekarang 1-1, Electro Boys versus Dog.
They have to wait for that team to really be comfy. They do have a Hex up now as well on Annihilate though. So they've got additional control coming in here for the side of 2-base, widening that lead. 10k up now on the side of 2-base. That's with your Naga Siren on E-Boy side at 28k net worth, 2k above the PA. It's just that 2k at this point in the game is not much. It's not even a full item already.
Smoke on smoke, John, but they have the high ground advantage. Z-Freak, he's going to break the smoke, but make the jump in. E-Boys, they want to fight with a great song out from Speed to set up a nice spot. They drop the Will-O-Wisp onto 3 heroes. They are trying to get away, but Annihilate immediately bursted down by Speed. Meanwhile, Z-Freak trying to fight this one out. Boris jumps. There goes Albino Zebra, but Boris, he's dropping very quick to Speed's damage. Speed doing its work already. Boris gets Rotovate tossed up, still making the blink strike in, does kill off Double A, is still on the run, gets the blur off as well, and he just dispels everything as he just TPs in front of Speed's face. Answers there on Albino, but the flip, he's going to dispel that silence into a 3-man Ice Path, and the Macro Pyre. They'll get Annihilate, but Boris, he's going to jump. Mia is getting bursted down and does go down as Z-Freak controls the rest of the Earth Spirit. And Boris just crits down the Imperial one hit. Giant, he tries to Dark Rift out, but Monkeys forever. It's just way too much damage. And now Boris is there onto the Naga Siren. That'll be Speed going down. And Z-Freak is looking for the last one, and he has found him. Double A trying to escape with the Clinicate. Z-Freak only one stone left to use.
It's under attack.
Hey, spotted for a second. Trying to TP, but you've got the roll there from Z-Freak. Thing is, it doesn't really have much help. Empyrean is finally going to come in. Boulder Smash and Silence is there into the Aeon Disc being propped. He's still trying to run away.
In song that's going to be a bit nasty to fight into, and could complicate matters for the approach into the high ground. So you're seeing the effect of the high ground hold here of E-Boys, and they're not too far away from that here for Speed.
I think we've lost John. I believe he's back. John, are you back?
Okay. Yes. And
the fight's breaking out right now. They've just jumped in straight onto Speed. Speed is dropping very low on that Naga. Is he going to go down? It looks like he will. He is dead without buyback. Onto Mio. The Void Spirit also gone. And this game is looking to be over as Boris just slicing and dicing them up. They'll buy back. There'll be one last team fight. But they're going to have to do this without their position 1. Speed's buyback is still on cooldown, and now the dagger's flying out. The damage is just insane through the daggers. Giant's gonna die. A dieback on him. Sanity's being dropped. dependent on what they want to do.
Seconds remaining.
Of course, Electronic Boys, they probably should have seen this one coming. I'm sure they've got some kind of ID ready. Combat the side are simply too based. Whether they go for the same style of draft, you know, something like a Naga Siren that is very farm heavy, or whether they're going to go for something a bit more standard, we're going to have to wait and see. I think it is worthwhile going for something a bit left field here up against Simply 2 Based, because they are looking like one of the strongest teams in the lower division, if not the strongest team. So I think it is perfectly viable for them to maybe run a bit more of a cheese pick here to try and force us to a game 3. Question is what it's going to be, though.
Team pick.
Find out hopefully very soon as Electronic Boys, they go back into the Void Spirit once again for Mio. In all fairness, AA and Mio were playing pretty darn well on the Coddle and the Void Spirit respectively, so I can't quite blame them for going down the same route in terms of draft openings. It does scare me a little bit though, because, you know, the same thing might happen in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, if I Annihilate just takes the OD mid once more, you could potentially see issues if the same thing unfolds in the laning phase. It's the same openings. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to repeat myself. It's Earth Spirit Zephyr played really well in game number 1, as you saw. Of course, it's something he really plays, you know, out of his mind on, so good comfort pick sliding through here. For 2 based, very based of them to kind of pick the same heroes content. Electronic Boys,
5 seconds remaining.
they're gonna need to change something here in their next picks, right? Like the bans might target some of those heroes that came out. Maybe they look at the Monkeys Forever heroes, ban out the Timbersaw. They already took care of the Bat Rider. I guess the Timbersaw is gonna be a straightforward ban if they want to, but it's not something you worry about with a Kotl Void Spirit necessarily.
Radiant
Maybe they just let it stride through again. Nah, they decide to take it out. Monkeys was having too good of a time there, buying space out and, you know, and splitting the map up. So it's a smart ban for Electronic Boys, and that will at least force 2 Base to change their draft with at least one of these picks.
John, you know how I know I'm getting old?
Remaining.
I haven't even said this to you yet, but I didn't know what based meant before we started casting the lower division. I didn't get the whole thing around it, and even now I don't really understand fully what it's meant to mean. I guess it's a good thing to be based, right? It's a good thing, but
it's something.
I'm too old.
I can't explain it. I can't. It's
right,
just something that
old.
it's just something you kind of know. It's
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team
I know. I don't want to explain it. I think is the better term for it. I'd rather not. Yeah. It's
maybe inappropriate then.
It's not inappropriate. It's just I know its basis is like 4chan politics.
Oh.
Right, something like that.
Oh,
so it's best not to dig too deep into what it means to be based, or what based is. Or well, you know, if you know your chemistry, a base is the opposite of an acid. So maybe they're just too based. They need some acidity in them to neutralize that. You know, perhaps.
Wow. Thank you for that, Jonathan. We have a chemistry lesson for everyone watching right now. Very much. I am getting way too old for all these new hip terms that are coming out, John. I just can't keep up anymore. Very, very upsetting. So we are going to have to wait out one more ban from either side before we do get to see how these drafts unfold. Of course, we are hoping for the drafts to be a little bit different, and judging by the fact that the Timbersaw and the Naga Siren has now been banned, can almost guarantee that it will be quite different.
5 seconds remaining.
And it makes me wonder straight off the bat what they're planning to run for speed in that position 1 role. The Naga Siren was working out up until you got to that ultra late game, and then Boris just became a real big problem on that PA. I wonder what you replace it with now. Try and combat the side of 2 based.
They could look at like a Peel if they want to go for the same sort of illusion spam sort of heroes. I think a Peel into ODs not too bad. Of course, OD's antis is an issue that you could try to clear out those illusions with still, but Peel could be something that Speed looks at. Maybe he goes back into a Jug. There's a Phoenix now here for 2 based, so you've got the Egg, you've got the attack speed slow from the Fire Spirits. Jug doesn't tend to care for that, or even something like the Life Sealer, which has faded out a bit, is still sort of an option here for Electronic Boys. You've got those heroes on hand if you want to. I don't think they're going to take any
5
speed
seconds
hero at
remaining.
this point, though. They're probably going to save it for the last pick in this phase, if not the last pick overall. So we're just going to have to wait and see how it
Radiant
develops. I'm
team
keen to see what Electronic Boys takes into 5 here. Oh, they snagged the Witch Doctor themselves. All right. So it's their turn to play with us and snag it away from Empyrean.
Well, I think Empyrean's going to be playing a position 5 Phoenix anyway. So I guess he didn't really want the Witch Doctor this time around. I do agree with your pick
10
on the Jug, though, John.
remaining.
I think the Jug would be pretty nice here for Electronic Boys. Obviously, up against the Phoenix, up
seconds
against the
remaining.
OD Astral. It's also going to be quite effective. Mind you, although you do have spin and you can be quite annoying with that, once it does run out, you are a bit of a sitting duck. But I can't really think of many better options right now for position 1s that can go in and deal with that egg, deal with the OD as well. Jug might just be the option for Electronic Boys. And that is also something we've seen them playing quite a bit. It is almost expected that the Jug gets picked up. Still simply 2 base now, their 4th pickup. They are yet to pick up another core, and it will be the Wraith King popping up, which now makes me feel like the Jug is not a good pickup. The Wraith King does not care for your spin. Literally has 1 button to press.
Yeah, it's very complicated here. No, 2 buttons, Mike. 2 buttons. You summon the skeletons now as well.
10 seconds
All right.
So it's a bit more involved, that Wraith King, but it's a really good pick for
5
2 base.
seconds
Gives them
remaining.
push, gives them good team fight. They've got sustain for the Phoenix to pump into the Wraith King if they need to. You've got maybe something to tie up with, say, throwing yourself in the first life while the egg's running down. Then you die, the slow's in place, you can't reach the egg, it blows up, Wraith King cleans up. So there's a lot of back and forth with what 2-Based has on hand. Electronic Boys, they're gonna need something that can deep push a bit. I mean, the Cottle's there to kind of take care of their skeletons, but you still sort of worry about that Wraith King. I'd say a PL might be an option, like a Diffusal Blade early on. Wraith King needs to buy the Ag Shard now to not have to worry about Reincarnation mana, so the PL could cause some issues in the mid to early game there. If you do get that good timing to Diffusal for speed, kind of ties in well with the rest of your lineup as well, so you can still go for that illusion spam here for Electronic Boys if they wanted to here.
That does seem like a pretty viable option, Electronic Boys. And for now, they'll pick up the Bristleback, so that should be the off lane of Electronic Boys. I suppose he doesn't care too much about the Wraith King when it comes to laning stage, and in fact, he doesn't care about the Phoenix either. So you kind of ensure that the Bristle is going to have a pretty nice time in the lane.
Radiant
And of
team
course, it's
back.
Coddle plus Bristleback, so you are going to have unlimited mana and unlimited quill sprays and nasal goo being thrown at you. So I do like this pick from
Dire
Electronic
team
Boys,
back.
but I don't think it solves the problem of the Wraith King quite yet. So that if we're talking team fights, you can just get Astral as a Bristle, and it kind of makes it so you're not really doing anything. Especially if you do go for the Aghanim Scepter build on the OD, then you're just permanently Astraled.
10
Well, pretty much
seconds
really
remaining.
just not doing a thing in these team fights. So I'm
5
happy with the
seconds
Bristle pick,
remaining.
but at the same time, I'm kind of questioning how it's going to pan out once we hit the mid to late game.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what E-Boys does with a Bristleback off. As you mentioned, Cottle Bristle is still a good combo, so the spam is still in play. Wondering if the Bristle does get something like the Shard this game. Again, I was having talks with a good
called
friend here in
Hairball, right?
Southeast Asia. Is it hairball?
Radiant
Or
team back.
I forget what it's called. It's like a hairball. He
Everyone
spits it out
keeps
like a
saying
hairball.
Yeah.
It is kind of like that. We'll see if that comes out. Gives you a way of at least initiating. It's not quite like hard CC, but it's still a decent thing to throw out before a fight starts. Do like that 2-base does ban out the PL,
10
so no
seconds.
option for that illusion spam now, and no option for the Jug as well. So Electronic Boys gonna have to find something else. Perhaps the Lifestealer's a choice, Slark is a choice, if they wanted to. Not particularly amazing, but I think you've got some ways of dealing with the OD. Would say the Lifestealer, just a built-in
10 seconds
BKB,
remaining.
makes it easier to deal with that pure damage coming through, and Wraith King is a strength hero, so you
5
can kind of
seconds
feast through him
remaining.
if you want to.
They could also go Ultra Greed and pick up something like a
Radiant
Medusa
team pick.
and make her sit in the back and just hit people. But no, they go for the Ricky. Think that Speed is going to go for the Diffusal Blade pickup on the Ricky, and I wouldn't recommend it anyway because I don't think you're going to burn enough mana to actually, you know, force the Reincarnation to not have enough mana to pop. Probably will still
10
go for the standard
seconds
Battle
remaining.
Fury. into the Aghanim Scepter. And of course, with all the skeletons around, you can get some pretty massive cleave damage with that Trickster the Trade and Battle Fury. That being said, the Riki, if it does not go off to a great start, I don't know how I feel about it. Like later on into the game, obviously it's still very strong once you have the Agh's Battle Fury up. We've seen this before though, and last time we saw this from Electronic Boys, it did not look great.
Yeah, it's really just down to how fast Speed can get his items in this game. 2-base, they go with a Viper. It was in the pool. This is why Bristleback isn't too common, because a Viper can just pop right out. The break, innate break that Viper has, it's just really annoying for a Bristleback to deal with. Like, he's still going to have that early game spike, but down the line, the durability you'd expect from the Bristle is not going to be lining up there. We're going to have to see how it does blow out. I'm going to be down to how much Electronic Boys can get from that lane. Like Speed, if he hits that Battle Fury timings you mentioned, can really start to run down. Like he's got the Bristleback or the Void Spirit to jump into, as well as the Pocket Riki to get the damage off early on. And that could cause some issues for 2-base if they're not ready. But they do have some answers in their draft, and 2-base, you know, they kind of want to play fast as well. But they do have some excellent scaling with the Raid King. That can take them towards the late game if they wanted to. So, and a good back and forth, interesting shakeup in the draft. We do at least have a Kotl combination, which we haven't seen with all the Kotl pickups. So it's just down to Electronic Boys maximizing that early on.
That was such a great last pick from Simply Base, that Viper. I mean, not only are you going to be able to deal with the Bristleback now with the break, this Riki is not going to have a good laning stage against the off-lane Viper from Monkeys Forever. Yeah, you can Trickster the Trade and Blink Strike away, but it doesn't change the fact that you are going to suffer quite a bit in terms of just burning through your regen. This is actually going to be quite a painful time for the safe lane of Electronic Boys, and unfortunately for them, they don't really have much of an opportunity to switch up the lanes either. They are kind of just stuck throwing him in the safe lane up against the Viper. So simply 2-based, I mean, you go into this game, they already look like they have the better draft going into this. I have a feeling you would agree with me on that, John. They are probably looking better just based on draft. Electronic Boys, they've got to hit their timings this game. If they do not get off to a good start, it's going to be quite painful, I think.
Yeah, it's really going to be tough on them if you don't get that timing on. It's really down to speed. Battle Fury has to come out quick. And as you mentioned, Viper lane is never fun, no matter what hero you have. Even that Riki's not going to enjoy that too much. So we're going to have to wait and see how these lanes unfold. It should make for a good game, though. A lot of back and forth, a lot of explosive timings come mid-game. So I am looking forward to how these teams shape up, building into that timing.
Just did that.
A lot of pressure is there on Giant as well on that Bristleback.
Now I feel
like he's going to have to make a lot of space for Speed to be able to get that quick Battle Fury up. I think they've already kind of accepted the fact that the laning stage is probably not going to go very well for them. So I think Giant's going to have a lot of pressure on his side of things to make sure that he can set a nice tempo and momentum for the team along with Mio. And just try to get the plays being made ASAP. She definitely can get done with the Keeper of the Light behind him. You generally just have no downtime as the Bristleback with a Kotl behind you. See how it does pan out as the top rune spot once again rounded by 3 heroes from the side of 2-base. Speed not going to even bother going past the tier 1 tower. He's just going to hide behind it and make sure he does not put himself in harm's way. Or Empyrean will just go for the TP back down to the safe lane afterwards as well. Man, this lane's gonna really suck. The Viper it's a disgusting lane.
Yep.
It's really, really disgusting to play against.
Yeah, it's no fun. And we're gonna have to watch just how much Speed can do and just how much Albino Zebra can do to kind of counteract that early on. He is just not going to be amazing. Like Riki Witch Doctor can maybe make some plays once you hit level 2, level 3 with a Maledict cast, but you're jumping into a Viper. That can be a bit tanky early on, especially if you can get some good casts of a Nether Toxin, some good stacks of Poison Attack, Z-Freak. Of course, we've seen him in game 1 just be really disruptive in lane. He might go for that pull movement once more. With the early aggressive ward this time around, though, does mean that Z-Freak might look for maybe more kill ops onto the backline here early on.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to go ahead and push in that that wave straight off the bat with the Nether Toxin. Pretty standard stuff. You want to hit that level 2 on both your heroes so you can be quite effective. Z-Freak will want the roll to really get aggressive here onto Albino Zebra. I'm going to go ahead and just pull the wave away. This is your standard Viper and Earth Spirit play. Just constantly pushing in the wave and then pulling it back. Pushing it in and just pulling it back over and over again. They even block the large camp to make sure that Albino Zebra can't force the equilibrium back his way. It's already some very nice play in this off lane by Z-Freak and Monkeys Forever. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, iAnnihilate is going to be up against Mio. Mio off to a pretty good start, 6-2 on the Void Spirit, but iAnnihilate, as the levels go up, should be able to catch up fairly easily. Of course, he has opted for the Arcane Orb early on, just to really be able to harass out Mio. Does look to be very effective already.
Yeah, again, this is a repeat from game number 1. Good D word coming out from iAnnihilate. So taking away some of that rune vision that they would have had, and Mio now just needs to hold out. Again, he needs his supports to be more active for those power runes, especially the first one at the 4-minute mark. If you give that away to iAnnihilate again, I think that lane might end up with the same result as we saw last time. So much more emphasis has to come out here from the supports down mid.
Has been
Certainly so. Down the bot lane, Double A does manage to get Hyperion's courier. Hyperion, he did get his items off the courier at least before it did go down. Now this is the one lane for E-Boys that they really need to put down. So far, things are going pretty well for Giant, but you look at Boris's last hits as well, John. He is just about at the top, only behind his own Viper. Speaking of the Viper, Monkeys Forever, again, just kind of committing lane shenanigans here up at this top lane. Still pulling the creep wave away, forcing the tower to take all these creep hits and forcing speed to farm underneath that tier 1 tower. Uh-oh, Albino caught out for a second, but it looks like Z-Freak did not want to make the roll in. Not confident to be able to get the kill on that Witch Doctor quite yet. They're probably just very happy with the way this lane's going anyway.
Yeah, as long as you're kind of making speed work for those last hits, you're perfectly fine. You're finding a good amount of levels on Monkeys. When he hits his level 5, level 6 spike, you have to be worried about the burst damage that comes through on the Viper. So overall, not too shabby for time still, despite the fact that speed is getting last hits. Monkeys is still denying off the wave, and Z-Freak is just making it a nightmare to play in this lane. Like, they get each sentry ward off, so Z-Freak could just reinvest and block again if he wants to.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the moment where they actually make the jump in. We haven't really seen a roll onto the Witch Doctor yet from Z-Freak, which I'm a bit surprised about. Looks like Z-Freak at this point is going to go ahead and secure the 4-minute power rune up at the top rune spot. Because Mio does have the bottle up and ready to go. Desperately wants a full bottle if he can afford to get one. But top rune spot is going to be occupied. It is a regen rune on top, so Z-Freak is going to be a great denial away from Mio, who really would have loved that. Mio is going to have to continue suffering in this mid lane up against iAnnihilate.
Yeah, they need to get control there. Like, it's so much easier for the Earth Spirit to zip in and out. That's where the supports of E-Boys just doesn't really move as fast. Double A just stuck in the bot lane, just trying to maximize this combination with Giant. And honestly, the aggression we're seeing from the Bristleback Cottle isn't quite there. Like, you'd expect them to commit their full mana pool at level 2 to 3 to just find a kill, but they have been content with just playing the farm game, and Boris just doesn't care about that at all. Like, this raid team's at level 5 now, has the steady build-up in farm, and when you're not abusing that early on, Boris is just going to find a lot more from lane.
Top lane, we almost saw Albino Zebra dying, but he does make a nice TP out with the cask play. Looking back at Boris, he's having a great old time on that Raid King. About hit that level 6 mark as well, so he's not really going to be fearing for his life too much. Giant, he's farming nicely on the Bristle. Question whether it's going to be enough as Boris. He goes in with the skeletons now. He's not level 6 yet. He's just trying to make sure this tower doesn't get forced in by Giant. Giant is going to be just fine to pull the creep wave away and keep doing bristleback things. Meanwhile, top speed is getting jumped and he does go down. Monkeys Forever with the first blood, and now Double A I think he should have just cancelled that TP, as this is not the position he wants to be in. He's going to try and illuminate, but he's gone. Monkeys forever, a double kill on the Viper. Very unfortunate set of events occurring for Electronic Boys up at that top lane.
Not what you want to see here from the side of eBoys. Speed already off to a rough laning start. Takes a kill. It takes a death as well, though. Maybe they find a counter here.
Perhaps Monkeys, Melodic should tick him out, and Speed, he does end up helping. Getting the kill for Albino. You get some kind of a trade. Off mid lane, another power rune is going to go the way of 2-based, as I Annihilate denies the illusion rune away from Mio. Mio has not been getting lucky at all on this Void Spirit with the power runes. Very unfortunate time, and his bottle is still just empty. It has been for the last 2.5, 3 minutes now.
Yeah, it's
nobody's TP'd in either to fill it up.
Pretty for Mio. On top of that, you've already got the Meet Annihilate. Same timing as the last game, so again, you're seeing mid suddenly get shoved in.
Ooh, nice roll away from Z-Freak. Speed was trying to get the block off with his body, but the Blink Strike brought him behind the Earth Spirit. Rolled down towards the south and got away. Forever now going to contest that stack of large cap. Should be able to get most of this. Not much way of contesting him here. Does have the level 6 timing now on that Viper. Meanwhile, the mid lane sanity is being dropped. Mio is so darn low and does eventually die to the Meteor Hammer damage of I Annihilate. As hero is just so darn stupid. Once you get that Meteor Hammer up, you can just kill anyone. There's no stopping this guy. You're gonna TP in to defend this tier 1 tower. They'll jump onto Z-Freak. I think Z-Freak's just going to walk his way out of there. As I Annihilate, another Meteor Hammer is going to be able to take that one tower. The Astral there on Speed. They just walk away.
I'm looking at Speed, and he's saving up for his own Meteor Hammer here, Mike.
What?
Yes. I don't think this is the play, but he's off to a really slow start, so the battlefield timing might have been unideal. This is going to give a lot of value towards 2-base though.
I mean, it helps him farm. I'll give him that, but now he's getting jumped by Z-Freak and I Annihilate. Tricks of the Trade's going to come out, and Albino Zebra does TP into the mid lane. Melodic is also going to be there, but they don't really have the follow-up damage. Nate going to fly through I Annihilate him. Another Astral, but no Meteor Hammer this time. So Meteor Hammer Ricky.
Yep.
That's something I can't say I've seen before, John. Here we go again. Another Meteor Hammer by Annihilate, and that should mean the death, though. No, it was just barely mistimed. Speed. Walk away, butt cheeks clenched firmly to the ancient stacks now. In fact, he blocks his own ancient stack, which is a bit unfortunate. Won't matter too much. He'll make his way down towards the south. It looks like they are going to try and maybe make a play onto Boris.
No,
Now, Mio will jump in. Boris doesn't have the Reincarnator. The Remnant not going to lock him in either. Mio still moving forward. Boris now does skill up the Reincarnate. He was holding a skill point, and Z-Freak jumps in onto Speed, but Speed does manage to get away. Onto Mio instead, who does not have any Astral Step charges, which means Boris should be able to finish him off, and Empyrean is the one to get the kill. Giant, like he's not going to be able to get a return kill. Another nice kill with the 2-based, and E-Boy's just not finding anything.
Yeah, Boris is just getting everything he wants from the lane. Giant by himself without the call is just not that scary, especially when he runs out of mana. So Boris has been having a good time here. Taking a look at E-Boys, you'll be glad to know Mike Speed is actually going for the Battle Fury. He switches out, but he's got to find that farm somewhere. He can't clear those stacks until that's up.
Very deep from I Annihilate. He's going after the Witch Doctor. Boulder Smash there. He does have Sanities. He will not commit it. And he gets... The Meteor Hammer actually did enough damage.
It did. Oh goodness. I Annihilate.
He just walks off. He's like, I know I got this kill. Ready to commit this ultimate. Be fine.
Oh, you know the painful thing? That's another power that I Annihilate picked up. Another haste he makes use of. Just no rune control from E-Boys so far, costing them a ton. And they're going to have to give these stacks away to Giant as well. So you're not going to have that recovery stack for speed just yet. And the Battle Fury is still a long way off though.
Freak gonna move his way in, does spot out a very low Giant. He might be able to kill him off, but no, they do have the Hood of Defiance. The Freak with the Magnetize, trying to refresh it, trying to get the damage out. They do Astral up the Earth Spirit while Albino Zebra goes on to Annihilate. Speed chases him down. Annihilate trying to man fight this one out. They do kill off Albino, but Annihilate does also die. Back off, but Mio for a bit of a chase. Eventually decide better of it. And get back to these ancient stacks. The speed will slowly but surely take them on the Ricky.
Yeah, it's at least gonna give him his perseverance up. Maybe one of the swords as well if he wants to. Gonna give him some region to play with. This is just so much for Boris though. He went up top, he's clearing up that top jungle. Radiant's timing is gonna be really sharp. We're talking about maybe 14 minutes, 15 minutes for the Radiants, and that's going to cause some issues. Boris is just going to have so much value from that early on.
Annihilate kills off Mio down at the bot by himself. Looks like he did drop that one I wasn't quite expecting, and as I look away, Imperium also gets Albino Zebra. Speed very low in terms of HP, but is not going to be spotted out, and he's going to be able to walk away and getting Sal from AA on the Coddle.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
4k net worth lead, and you kind of already pointed this out, but the Radiant's timing is going to be very nice there from Boris. And I like the fact that Boris went for the casual gloves of haste and doesn't really waste his time with the Midas build-up. That is the right decision to go for here for Boris, and you can see without the Midas, he's going to have such a great timing on this Radiance. No Midas necessary for this.
No, he's just finding all the farm anyway. They force the movement down bot as well with pressure on that tier 1, and they look up top.
Speed, but the roll was never going to be long enough anyway. This is putting pressure on Speed though to just roll across the map, and as we know, Ricky does not enjoy farming the jungle. Slow process though, mid lane, Monkeys forever now, being chased down by Giant on the Bristle. Fire Strike's going to be there, into the egg now from Empyrean. Great positioning, and they even have the dust for Giant. He is dropping very, very low, but he will not get stunned up. So they dive in, they try, but Mio, he'll get the return kill. In fact, the Bristle does end up surviving throughout all that. Empyrean now in trouble. Looks like he will die, and eventually does go down to speed.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Giant
attack.
survived on about 100 HP on that Bristle back.
Yeah, it was fairly close, but that's the tankiest target you're jumping, and without the backup for your OD, it's just a really tricky target to take. So good punishment coming out from E-Boys. Definitely needed those kills on the board, and that does help Giant find a little bit more gold to get his timings up. The Hood of Defiance has been up and running. Gonna need a little bit more in that Bristle for him to be truly a menace, but I think while you're farming this Bristle back up, Speed is taking the hit. Like, he is not having the best of times in terms of net worth right behind that Bristle. The Battle Fury is gonna help, and he's just about 800 gold off, so Speed is sort of recovering quite well with the space he's been given, but the Radiant timing for Boris, again, we're gonna see it probably at the 15 and a half, maybe 16 at latest for that Radiance recipe, and it's just so scary when you have a Raid King with Radiance that early on.
Giant, he's stuck around. D-Warded that whole time, but Giant really wanted the Ancient stack to be finished up. Fortunately for him, he will go down to Monkeys forever, and Monkeys still has a D-Rune active. Speed sees that, just says, screw this lane, I'm out of here.
Radiant's courier has
Let's get the courier though. It's going to be quite nice, as that was the Spirit Vessel being completed by Monkeys. Won't happen for another 2 minutes. Into the bot lane, Astral intermediate hammer by Annihilate will mean that Albino Zebra is going to die. Looks like they want to try and make the play for that bottom tier 1 tower now.
It's not going to be an easy defense for Evil. They only got 2 heroes in total.
Oh, TP cancelled off by Giant.
Oh, he was recalled.
Right behind the two. He was okay.
Dire's
It's all
middle
right.
tower is under attack.
Z-Freak was getting chased down by Speed. Speed lets him go, instead has to focus on Monkey's forever. The smoke screen to try and lock him down with the nasal who are out from Giant, and they just all jump him. Z-Freak looks like he's going to be alright. Just roll away.
Dire's bottom
While the
tower
Viper
is
does
under
go
attack.
down,
Dire's
you are
bottom
going to lose that
tower is
bottom tier 1 tower. It's not really all bad news. For 2-based, they always seem to find an objective regardless of who dies.
Yeah, they seem to really prioritize those tier 1s. Like, literally all the tier 1s have to go around this time for 2-based, and that's mainly what they look for.
Annihilate. Aether Remnant gonna lock him in. Z-Freak moving in to try and help out is now a nice egg once again flying in from Phoenix. Neo is gonna go down to Z-Freak and Annihilate. And now Albino Zebra, he's trying to run. Magnetize is gonna be there. He's surrounded. He just accepts the fate and tries to go for the Death Ward, but that is gonna be cancelled. Z-Freak. Another nice kill of Z-Freak for a bit more. Gonna run straight into Giant.
Radiant's middle
Team may
tower
not be
is under
close
attack.
enough to really help Z out here. Let the bristleback go. Do have monkeys around now. Be more than enough. More than happy to just take this Dire triangle and just take the ancient stacks away. Electronic boys. They roll in once again. They want double A dead on that Keeper of the Light, but Mio is going to be there to try and help out. I Annihilate once again. A nice Astral into the Meteor Hammer. It's a much bigger target, and they will get Mio. Z-Freak is going to roll away once again as they jump in onto the Bristle and Giant. He is not looking too big. He is going to go down, and I Annihilate once again. Another Astral setup, and Albino does avoid the roll of Z-Freak, and the Illuminate actually going to kill off Z-Freak. But they do get the kill they came for. Monkeys forever will tip his own teammate for that one. Annihilate is not done yet, but he does miss the dust.
That was keen on Z-Freak. He missed the first roll, so he was in an awkward spot. You're still really happy with that if you are the side of 2-based. You're seeing the power of this Wraith King. Like, Boris just shows up with Radiance. He's gonna have a blink next. How do you deal with 2 lives while burning down with Wraith around? In fact, if he finds a Cloak of Flames, then you're truly gonna see some balance in this game.
Are scanning.
Love me some balance, John.
Dire's
So they know where
bottom
Speed
tower
is on this
under
Ricky.
attack.
Z-Freak now going to definitely know as the trick raid is there, and he lands the stun into the dust. He should have a lot of control. The Speed is all by himself, and he's gone. Tricks the trade by a bit more time, but
The miss?
they get the kill. Mid lane, Giant gonna be in trouble now as Boris and Monkeys Forever make the jump in on that Bristle, but Mio is going to be there to try and help out, but they really just can't bite into this Wraith King. It is just way too scary. Meanwhile, Annihilate finding another Albino Zebra, and he gets stunned up by the Meteor Hammer. He is going to go down. With this Wraith King joining in now, they can just take down the objective so darn quick as they find another. The roll in into the Nether Toxin onto Giant. He's gone.
Dire's structures
They are making it look so easy.
Yeah, much more from 2-base in the second game. Bristleback and the Viper, it's just not... Like, it takes a lot of items to counteract just one spell from the Viper. It's just way too difficult. They might find I Annihilate as he's being a bit greedy here.
Speed gonna try and make the jump in. I Annihilate, still being a little bit annoying here, getting the Astral off, and his team is starting to collapse through the Dire jungle. And nice blink away once again, I Annihilate. Gets himself out as now Albino Zebra. He's been in this position before. He'll try to Death Ward, but it's not gonna do much. They even got the dust off onto Speed, but Mio is gonna be there to block the way for I Annihilate. Instead, he blinks towards the up high ground and goes for the Keeper of the Light into the Meteor Hammer, but that doesn't actually land. Now Empyrean, a nice egg once again. They're going to try and focus this one down. Can they get it in time? They cannot. Annihilate helping out, and Empyrean does survive through all of it. Z-Freak now with a great jump in. Double A is going to die. Speed's in massive, massive trouble. He's gone. He is just gone. A 13k net worth lead, 2 based. It's just so dominant from this team.
Oh yeah, it's scary fighting into this. I don't think the draft of eBoys is really helping the cause. Like, Koppel, Bristleback look good. It's just not enough. Like, now you've got Boris at 17. He's going straight for a Swift Blink. How do you deal with a Raid King? You just can't. You just can't.
That Swift Blink is so darn strong. It's not so often you see it on a strength hero like the Raid King, but it's like, why the hell not? It kind of suits the pop role, if anything. That tier 3 mid tower going down. They still have the Roshan to play around, so Boris will probably just make his way over to the Roshan pit. That third life for himself. By the time the Roshan's dead as well, he probably will have more than enough to just buy the Swift Link outright. Still just kind of looking for an answer here if you are Electronic boys.
Yeah, they're still saving up for Speed's Ags, which is going to be a big spike for the Ricky. It just needs to come out faster, and even with the Ags, you're going to need like a damage item as well.
Yeah, Albino Zebra actually going to be able to walk away here. I Annihilate, not going to go too far to pop that BKB charge. Aether Remnant not going to land a Zebra. Get nice silence on the Neo. Just so much damage, and now the Uzel catching out Giant. Boris has a stun in 1 second. Shoots the Astral into the Meteor Hammer. Giant once again has no way out of this. He's just Double A, Z Freaky rolls in again. He finds speed on the Rick. There's your egg from Empyrean. Everything's just perfectly placed, and they are just going to burst. No way out for Electronic boys as I Annihilate. The backlines will get Albino Zebra, and they call the GG. This game, it's gone. There is no coming back from this. And 2 based. They've done it again, John. Another 2-0 victory for themselves. In terms of series, still undefeated. And with this win, it does put them up.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Los muchachos estén listos, ya están listos, ya que tenemos el ban, bajamos la musiquita, gracias a todos, thank you for being here. Gracias, se le agradece. Ok, we have Dota time. Gracias, thank you for being here. Chompics, and today I am your
5 seconds remaining.
I will be your caster for today, for tonight. Yo soy el caster esta noche. Analista se tiró a la fuga. Gracias. Bueno, ya empezamos hoy día una upper bracket de la Octaexon League Season 2. Byzantine Riders versus Guys. Byzantine Riders, equipo canadiense, equipo de PS, número lower bracket, lower division, y Black Eyes, equipo roots europeas, ¿no? Ya empiezan a ganar el Nix. Saben que el Nix es un poquito fastidioso, especialmente si va a usar Prugos. Byzantine Riders. Al banco procede a hacer el Byzantine Riders, Monkey King y el Bloodseeker. No quieren que Data use ninguno de los dos. Bueno, el carry enemigo, ¿no? El Dato puede usar muy bien el Bloodseeker. Le banean al Monkey King. El Monkey King que viene a ser para Mirage, el carry de Black Eyes. También le banean a la rasta de Frugo. Saben que Frugo está spameando últimamente a rasta en sus juegos. Y ahora pues se viene el draft. El draft de una upper bracket, mejor serie de 3, best of 3 de esta serie. Junto a ellos se encuentran en la lower bracket. Estaría bueno, ellos están en la upper bracket. En la lower bracket estaremos Incubus Gaming contra Sanking Gomez. Mañana, 2 horitas antes que hoy, empezamos a las 2 de la tarde hora Pacífico, 5 de la tarde hora del este. Bueno, ahora vamos a ver. Están pensando 1 minuto y 20 qué es lo que van a elegir. El capitán Steel Borco Black Eyes, que ha hecho su regreso. Sabemos que ha tenido un pequeño pase fugaz por el equipo de N. Ahora está de regreso con sus muchachos. Con sus muchachos de Black Eye junto a Rap, que es Romjek, Ato,
10 seconds remaining.
de Red Geniuses. Forman un buen equipo sólido. Mientras tanto, en Byzantine Riders tenemos a Burder, el cubano, Alien Banana, el capitán del equipo, posición número 2, Cube, el número 3, Rubitos, posición 4, y Light Shader, posición número 5. Bueno, están optando por un OD. Yo creo que este OD va a ser medio. De frente van a figurar. En Rapture irá con su OD en posición número medio. Y también va a optar por el pack. El que opta por el pack va a ser para Ali Banabana, me imagino, porque ha estado pidiendo pack en públicos también, en los juegos de Rocket. Miremos qué es lo que se van a tomar los chicos esta tarde de Dota. La tarde para los chicos del Pacífico, y si un horario de 8 de la noche, ya está en el este, 7 de la noche hora de México. Y en Rusia, Rusia, what time is it in Russia? Russia is +9, I believe, +9, no, +8, about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in Russia. Wow, it's a big time. Ok, let's see. Pac optaron y me gusta mucho aquí el pick de Pac y Christian Media, mantener sólido, que lo puedes capturar, y mientras tanto la Christian puede ser un buen combo, ¿no? Con su ultimate, el OD, Outworld Destroyer, lo están usando mucho. Yo creo que iré al medio. También podría ir de offlaner. No sé tanto estaría Dato con el OD. Pero sin embargo, Romjek, que ya hemos visto que usa su OD en el medio. Hay que optar 1 minuto con 13. Se están demorando los chicos. Es un juego que es un juego de final, una upper division, una upper bracket. Aquí el que pierde va a la lower bracket, el que califica ya se ve frente el día jueves. El jueves tenemos primero la final de la lower bracket y luego está la final, la main final de Best of 3. Los muchachos que un premio un premio cómodo para ese prize, 300 para el primero y 100 para el segundo, y unas arcanas para los MVPs. Eso es lo que se llevan. $500 prize pool. Next season is going to be higher, and I hope by the upcoming season will be much higher. Okay. Outworld han baneado a la Legion Commander. No quieren que Dato use esa Legion Commander de Dato nivel 27. Creo que es un dolor de cabeza. Ya lo hemos visto cómo ha usado su Legion Commander cuando estaban jugando en la DP Qualifier. Probaré el delay. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo está Manzanita? Nian Strict, muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Gracias, Manzanita. Ya que Manzanita más tarde es el admin de la siguiente, porque en concurrente se va a estar jugando Qualifier para la siguiente temporada. Lo que pasa es que tuvimos que mover el horario de Byzantine Raiders contra Black Eyes un día antes, debido a que los chicos de Byzantine Raiders juegan mañana contra Arc. Así es que hay que ajustar su horario de ellos. También sabemos que la EP es un premio Go. Ya pronto estaremos ya en ese nivel. O sea, el prize pool de los sponsors que ya van a venir pronto. Pronto van a venir pronto. La Octaexon League. Muchas gracias. Thank you everybody for being here. If you want to support, if you like the map, you can also purchase it. Not required. Up to you. Un jabber captado para evadir el daño mágico, ¿no? Quizás que le pueda causar daño mágico el pack. Y el Crystal Maiden ahí va a estar molestando esa Crystal Maiden perdón.
5 seconds remaining.
¿Cómo están? Muchas gracias, everybody. Thank you for being here. Me llamo Chompix and DJ Recaster. Está para la gente de Russia, Perú. Sabemos que el equipo de acá mayormente habla ruso. Thank you. Siva for being here. Byzantine Ryan is also here, cheering for his team. It's a tough call. You guys are taking their time, 30 seconds, doubting, okay, how we're gonna play. We have now position. We have both. We revealed both our cores, the middle and the carrier. Let's see. Calmering, un puck. Se la van a pensar. Se tomaron muchísimo de manera de Ricky. No quieren saber de Ricky, del cubano Murderer que acaba de jugar también un Ricky. No sé cómo terminó su partida, no lo vi. Estaba jugando un rank en tanto que jugara con nosotros. Estaba Ricky, creo que lo ha ganado. Bien que ese Ricky también destrabador, su Ricky del cubano. Se pone modo Tony Montana, así lo podemos decir. Vamos a ver un bank. ¿Qué un bank podría venir? No sé si han baneado el Oracle que les hace un dolor de cabeza, les dio el Oracle, aunque ahorita están por el daño mágico. Ok, listo.
Dire team ban.
Dando.
Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Un Lich. Bueno, ese Lich va a ser posición número 5. ¿Para quién va a ser el número 5? Sería para Silvorco. Silvorco, thank you. Felicidades por el torneo en el main Wikipedia, papi. Muchas gracias, Cuba. Muchas gracias, everybody. Thank you, Young Kings, everybody. Thank you for the cheers. Yeah. Try, it's really hard to get into Wikipedia because there are so many 3-2-2 teams. I mean 3-2-2 tournaments or tournaments that are fake. So prevent that. They're very strict.
10 seconds.
Wikipedia, you have to meet the notability guideline. I know the prize pool is still small, but
5 seconds remaining.
What compensates is the competitive level. Because these teams are preparing themselves to go into the DPC. It will also be the any other professional player made to a TI, right? So these guys are preparing themselves, constant stuff, maintain their solid base, so they're gonna keep grinding that for that dream.
10
Muchas gracias a los que están aquí con nosotros. A ver, Ya vemos un Ember
5
Spirit.
seconds
Ahora sí ya
remaining.
me la digo. El Ember Spirit me, pero ganando el un Ember con un pack que le va a bloquear su movilidad. Ahora, a ver. Un Atwall resuelve, puede ir de la off. Puede usar dato. Rubik, ¿no? Que no le han baneado el Rubik de Frugos. Ay, Rubik de. Esta, no le baneaste de Rubik. No le baneaste esa Ruby de Frug. Ahora, pues, lo que te va a costar, te puede costar un... ¿Qué están eligiendo sus prohibidos? Eligen sus prohibidos.
Radiant team ban.
Estos chicos vienen a nivel alto, pero los prohibidos son los prohibidos, ¿no? Frug tiene más de 1000 juegos con el Wraith King, ¿no? El Wraith King ya conocido de Murderer. Ay, antes se están yendo, quieren asegurar el Game 1 el equipo de Byzantine Riders. Game
10
1.
seconds remaining.
Vamos a ver cómo responde el
5
equipo de Black
seconds
Eyes.
remaining. Dire team ban.
Al Silencer no quieren. Silencer. Pues Outlaw Udi, que sería el número 3, Jagger el 1, Lich puede ser 5, hasta Ember 4 puede jugarlo en medios. Está un poquito variado, ¿no? Pero eso la línea sería el Wraith King acompañado de la Crystal Maiden. Y ahora están optando que contra quién le peleamos. Wraith King con una Crystal Maiden. Sabemos que Frugos iría con Cube. ¿Qué es lo que Cube se tramaría? Un pango quizás para poder desarmarse, ¿no? Molestar ahí el Rolling Thunder.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
TIE Hunter también, pero ¿banearon al TIE Hunter? ¿O está baneado el TIE Hunter? El TIE Hunter. Verso, no banearon al Team Verso. Vamos.
10
Interesante. A ver
seconds
qué opinan
remaining.
ustedes, chicos. Ustedes son más pros que yo.
5 seconds remaining.
Hay
Radiant team
chupetines.
pick.
Está con nosotros. Ya está. Ladder y el Mars está. Quedan 2 segundos, 20 segundos para responder. El equipo de Black Eyes se había ganado la moneda. Ellos eligieron el segundo pick, así es que le dan el
10
last pick.
seconds remaining.
Vamos.
Dire team pick.
Clear to choose. Ok, listo. Agarraron Pangolier. Ante Pangolier, ¿por qué? Cube es discípulo de Lucky Lucky. Ya lo he dicho ya, que aquí sí, mira, si no gana Cube, Lucky Lucky le va a jalar su jalón de orejas. Yo creo que lo tiene que bajar del stream de Lucky Lucky. O sea, ya está. A ver, ahora responde el equipo de Black Eyes, que se toma su tiempo. Tiene con un total de 27 segundos. Listo. A ver, la van a pensar. Ok, ahora, un poquito que no se arma su mentalidad del equipo. Puede ser el medio. Sabemos que ya no va a ir para Mirage. El Ember Spirit.
Choose your hero.
Ember Spirit. Juggernaut.
Crystal Maiden. Puck.
Grimstroke. Lich. A world devourer. Rubik. Points away. Praise King.
Prepare for battle.
At 6 feet down.
Thirty seconds to battle. The battle begins.
First blood. Last of our kind, but first of this. Learn from your mistakes. Bad peasant. Thank you, peasant.
Dire's courier has been killed. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Hold! Bye-bye.
Blame our blade.
Denied.
for more.
The cold has numbed you to wonder, Lich.
Calm down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No!
Illusion!
That should help.
A prize!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Never refuse gold given.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Gather round!
Have learned well.
Puck out!
We are great.
A midsummer nightmare.
Your time.
Cold has numbed you to wonder.
My people died for nothing.
You move like a blue heart.
Careful what you say.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dead ringers.
You'll get the next one.
strange time to hibernate.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Precious bounty.
I was meant to have this.
Behold silence!
Not my best work.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is that all? Thank me if you understood.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Never refuse gold given.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Presumably a pity.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I was only indirectly responsible. It's time.
No sorcery lies beyond my grasp.
Interesting. A prize!
Dire's turret has been killed. Dire's turret has been killed.
You can only think how technique you won't feel a thing.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's courier has been killed.
To the outer dark.
May you ride on.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Ember strength. Now kindled.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Our blades taste better. My heart no longer beats.
Dire are scanning.
Fall before us. There will be another time to fight. A chilling assault. So what if I swagger?
Where?
Go near. A prize. Behold!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Work undone.
Will you not rise in my presence?
The cold has numbed you to wonder.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The stone has reached my heart.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Silence! Gather round!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Haste!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Greatest tragedy of our time!
Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Has no grip on me.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
A prize!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Face your death.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant